All right, yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Jerome, and thank you so much for stopping by the channel. First off, I want to say Happy New Year. Hopefully, everyone has a great year this time around. And yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the topic. So, I lately have been playing a 60 card deck. It consists of branded tier, ishizu, something else, branded tier, ishizu, and like I don't know, just Brandon Tier, Shizu, and Bystials. There you go. That's the name of it. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name. Anyways, so lately I've been playing it for about a good week and a half now. I went undefeated in 2 tournaments, and then in the last tournament I went X and 1, 4 and 1. So my only loss was to Scareclaw because in this build I didn't play Super Poly. In the first build I played Super Poly, in this one I didn't play Super Poly, so I couldn't really get over their try hard guy. But anyways, this deck is extremely fun. It's insane. Honestly, I feel like it's unfair. I think it's even stronger than tier Shizu. I mean, this deck is stupid. It seems like there's endless combos, and you're gonna see. With that being said, remember to like and subscribe. Liking the video helps the algorithm, helps other people out there that are in need of deck profiles, so look out for them as well. And subscribe if you want to see these deck profiles and stuff like that, and keep up with what kind of tech builds and stuff like that you can try out for your tournaments and so on. So let's go ahead and start with the obvious stuff. So we got the 2 owl beds. You can play 3 obviously in the 60 card version. Anything, if I was playing like anything lower, I wouldn't go higher than 2, but even in this one I stayed at 2 because this is the brick of the deck, but you can definitely get away with playing 3. We got 3 Lubers, 1 Tragedy, 1 Libidum, and 1 Albion. This is cuttable. I never really used it. I used it I think 1 time, and that was about it. Other than that, I never really messed with it. And then for that was the whole branded Despia side. Now we got the Bystials. So I did 2 Libellion. Again, you can do 3 if you want, but I like 2. And 3 Magnamut. And then 3 Druid's Worm, and only 1 Saranir. I'm thinking about maybe bumping this up to like 3, honestly, just because it really works really well in this deck. And then that will conclude the Bystials. And now on for the tiers. So we got 3 of the Rhino Heart, which you need 3. You need 3 of every tier name in this deck for it to work properly. 3 Sharon, 3 Havanus, and then 3 Merly. So like I said, 3 of every name. You need it. If not, then you're not going to see any names really when you mill. And then for the ishizus, so 3 Keldo and 3 Medora. That is it. I don't play any of the mill 5 ones. The reason is because there are so many people playing tier, and there are so many people that are main decking just these 6 cards and like their regular decks. Like there's some people that are playing Sprite main decking 6 of these just because of all the tier matchups. So I don't want to hit a Kelbeck and then mill 5 cards, and then my opponent ends up milling like a Medora or Keldo or their own tier monsters. I just think that that's a big problem. Even if I was to play just pure tier right now, well, not pure tier, but tier Shizu, I think I wouldn't even play the Kelbeck or the Agito or Digo, whatever his name is. I don't even think I would play those anymore, just because when I did play tier Shizu last time, I ran into that problem a lot where, you know, I would sit there and have a mirror match, and I'm like, do I even, like, these cards kind of suck now because like everyone's playing, you know, one of those 2, so you know, why even play them? Next, for the non-engine, well, they are engine cards, but I guess, archetype cards. We got the 2 King of the Swamp and the 2 Edge Imp Chains. These perform pretty nice, but honestly, you don't even need to run this package. I just ran it just because it's a nice little engine. In the first build, I didn't run the package, and it still worked out really nice. Then I played the 4 planets. You have to in this kind of deck. Then 3 branded fusions. And then 3 branded openings. And 1 instant fusion. the 2 Fright Fur Patchworks, and then the 2 Polys. I think in my first build I played 3 of these. I think I did 3 of these and 3 King of the Swamps, and I believe 2 or 3 Super Polys. It worked out nice. I liked it. 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Branded in Red, and 1 Regain. And then for the traps, we got the 1 Banishment, the 1 Branded Beast, and then the 1 Branded Retribution, which this card is insane in this deck. I mean, you're milling a lot, so, you know, this is in the graveyard. You just banish it to get back any of your Branded Fusions or anything like that. You can also do Branded. I think it's called Branded in White. Yeah, it's Branded in White. It's basically a polymerization, but if it's in the graveyard, and I think if you... I don't know. I can't remember the rules, the card text, but I know if it's in the graveyard, and I think if you have a fusion in your graveyard, at the end turn, you can add it back to your hand or something like that. I think that's how it works. Next, we have the extra deck. Obviously, we got our tiers. We got the Kit, got the Kaleido Heart, and we got the Rukalos. I think in my first build, I was playing 2 kits, but then I realized that you don't really go into tiers that much, so I cut it down to just 1. And then we got our Mud Dragon, Trigostelia, and the Garura. And I gotta sneeze. Oh god, sorry about that. And then next we got our God card, Grapha. This card is insane. Every time I summoned it, it pretty much was GG. Like, this thing is almost like a game-winning card. Then we got our 1 Guardian Chimera, obviously our other God card. 1 Mirror Jade. This, I always see people always first turn, they always summon this guy, and for me, I don't really like doing this on the first turn, just because like you're either forced to activate it on your turn to banish one of your monsters just to get like a search with Albion, or you sit there with it and then you kind of have like 1 interruption on your opponent's turn. I don't really like that. I have like a better combo in my opinion, and that was on the Branded Bystial on deck profile. If you want to check that out, it's really good. Combo. Basically, you get your Albion search at the end, and on top of that, you end your turn with about 2 interruptions, but you also have a Masquerade on the field, so you're also doing burn damage for every single thing that your opponent does. So it puts them in a very tough position, almost the same kind of position as you would with the Mirror Jade, but in my opinion, a little bit better, because you're doing damage the entire time, and you also have follow-up for that play and the next turn. So that's why I always use this as a fail-safe. Like, I never summon this guy out unless I absolutely have to. If he's like my only option, then I'll summon it. If not, I never really summon it. And then we got 2 Albion, the 1 Libellion, and then I don't know why I did this, but apparently I played 2 Masquerades. I thought I only played 1 until just now when I looked through my extra deck, and I was like, oh, I have 2 of these in here. You can cut one of them out. Probably put 1 in like the Dairy Queen, or I don't know, maybe a second kid or something, or maybe a Link monster. I don't know. And then last but not least, now hear me out. All right, this I put this in here for good reasons. All right, so a Bitch Willer. Now I know what you're saying. How are we gonna make this? All right, you play Branded Fusions and Branded Openings. All right, so listen. All right, I put this in here for 3 good reasons, and all 3 of these actually happened. So 1 was obviously if it's a tier matchup, I could make this, and yeah, makes it hard for them to play. The second one was just in case if I just so happen to brick, and that was the only thing I could make, right? And the third was because say if I get barriered, right? I get debarriered and I can't do any of my fusions. Well, at least I can make this. At least I got something to make, right? And funny enough, that actually happened. I got debarriered. I was playing as Labyrinth, and they actually debarried me. I was like, what the hell? I made this, but, you know, wasn't that big of a play, but it actually still ended up winning me the game because of it. So, yeah, but all 3 of those situations actually came up, so I'm glad I put it in there. The Next is obviously the side deck. Now, hear me out. All right. Hear me out. Token collector. I play token collector again. You know why I play token collector again? It's because I don't know why this all of a sudden happened, but it seems like in my area, everybody wants to play Sword Soul all of a sudden. And Sword Soul is probably the most slept on deck right now. It is so stupid, so powerful, right? It just has so many combos. It's endless, and it just seems like it seems like every single thing you stop, it just keeps going, and it just never ends. And you just sit there and you're like, okay, man, you just literally cleared my board and you're still making your board. And I interrupted you like 3 times and you still keep going. So it's just like, it started with 1 Sword Soul player, and then all of a sudden the next week it was 2. And then the next week about 4 of them. Bro, now we're up to like 6 or 7 of these guys, and and every week it keeps growing. Like every single week someone's like, man, I feel like playing Sword Soul now. And now we got other YouTubers making Sword Soul decks, talking about them, and now even more and more people are playing them because they're so cheap and they see how strong they're doing. And so now, and I'm guessing also everyone's tired of the meta, so now I'm forced to actually play this again. And funny enough, every time I played against a Sword Soul player, I drew this card in a 60 card deck. how does that happen? I literally, I opened it in like game 3 it was. I sat there and I was like, wow, in a 60 card deck, I opened this guy. He summoned Moyi and he's like affected. I'm like, okay, cool. Gets his token. I'm like, token collector. And he's like, nice. I guess that's game. And I'm like, yes, sir, it is game. So, yeah, I have to play this fucking card again. I have to play it again, man. I guess we're going back in time. Next, I play 1 Banshee. And then obviously with the Banshee, I'll play the 2 Zombie Worlds. Never came up because for some reason, I don't know what happened, man. Everyone's on Sword Soul now, so all the Flu players are, I don't know, they just disappeared. 2 Triple Tactics. I was trying to do 3, but I couldn't figure out what to take out for the 3rd one. I did 1 Harpies and the 2 Twin Twisters to go with it. You know, back row is always a problem for everything. Floodgates, you know. And then the last 6 were 3 Raigekis, and then the 3 Dark Ruler No Mores. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, this deck is extremely fun. There's endless combos, literally. Like, there's gonna be so many. If you play this deck, there's gonna be so many times where you do a brand infusion and you're gonna sit there and be like, man, what do I want to send? Because if I send a tier monster, I get to do these. If I send a tragedy, I get to do even more stuff. If I send Lubellion, I get to do that route. There's so many different routes. It's so endless. It's so great when you actually have a King of the Swamp as well. That's why I think I'm going to go back to 3 of them, just because when you have a King of the Swamp, your options are just endless. It is ridiculous how strong and overpowered this deck is. Like, every person I matched in my opening hand, if I open like a planet, an Aluber, and I don't know, like just any other like name, like Lubellion or something like that, it just literally felt unfair. It felt like I automatically won, and my opponents would just sit there and be like, what in the world? I can't tell you how many times I set up my field and then they pretty much just drew their card and they're like, all right, next game. And I'm just like, yeah, it's that insane, guys. It's that insane. I mean, I typically ended my field with like a Masquerade. Oh, this is basically what my infields will look like. I'll literally have like a Rook Hollows, right? A Rook Hollows. And I'll have like a Masquerade, and then I'll also have like a freaking Lubellion, and I would have a Branded Beast on the field as well. Like, I would have, typically this would be my end board, and then every now and then, if I just so happen to have like a Mud Dragon, I would also have this on the field as well. And they would just sit there and be like, there's nothing I can do. Like, there's literally, it's extremely impressive. Like, so honestly, this is probably like one of the most fun decks I've ever played within this little meta that we have here. Extremely fun if you're looking for something else to play. And I keep getting requests to do Virtual Worlds deck profile again. And listen, guys, I know Virtual Worlds is fun, okay? But the thing is that I know I said I was gonna do a deck profile, but the thing is that like they're good. They're good. The problem is that everything else is better. So it's like I don't know if I want to play a deck where I'm just gonna get obliterated by playing like a tier deck, because there's a lot of tier players in my area, guys, like a lot of them, and there's also like like 1 or 2 sprite players as well. So I don't think I want to put myself in that situation. So I'm trying to wait until we get a proper ban list to actually revisit Virtual Worlds, but I don't know, maybe if I get bored I'll do it. But I know for the next deck I'm going to go back to sprite, because I think I want to try a very different approach with sprites. But yeah, until then, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.